Hello, I am Ashwarya Bhatt and I am a member of Legal Aid Center. I am going to enumerate certain landmark cases which has helped in improving the condition of women in our country. Now, according to 2011 census, 48.3% of India's population consists of women. That is, almost half of our country's population is composed of female. Now, there is no denying to the fact that the condition of women in our country has undergone a lot of changes from a very long period of time. Now, there are cases where the condition has improved, no doubt, but also there are cases where there has been rampant increase in the cases of crime against women. Now, I am going to enumerate certain cases which has helped in improving the condition of women in our country, because we know that an empowered woman empowers women. Therefore, judiciary keeps this notion and has passed certain landmark cases in improving the condition. Now, the first and foremost case is Vishakha and others versus State of Rajasthan. It was a case of 1997, and in this case, Bhavari Devi, who was a social worker, she went into a village to protect a child who was undergoing child marriage. Now, the family members, or I can say the male family members of the child, they brutally gang raped Bhavari Devi, and when she went with this issue into the High Court, it was dismissed. The case was dismissed due to lack of evidence or facts like that. Now, the Vishakha, that was a women's educational and research organization joined by 4 other organizations. They went with the issue into the Supreme Court, and the apex court of our country came up with certain guidelines known as Vishakha guidelines, and it also included in itself that it is the whole and sole responsibility of the employer to ensure a safe working environment for the women. Tamil Nadu versus Suhas Katti. It was a case of 2004, and in this case, the first ever conviction under Section 67 of the Information Technology Act 2000 took place. In this case, Suhas Katti, who was the main culprit, he used to send obscene messages on social media to the victim. Now, I would like to throw some light on the Section 67. It says that it talks about the punishment for transmitting or publishing any obscene material on electronic media. Now, in this case, this happened, and also the victim used to get or receive some random calls asking her to soliciting her to engage into sex work. Now, she went with this issue into the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court convicted the culprit in this case, and also it empowered, or it gave a kind of awareness to all the women across the country to come forward under this section. Lata Singh versus State of UP. It was a case of 2006, and in this very case, Lata Singh, who was a woman, she went away from her home to marry a man or to establish matrimonial alliance with a man of another caste. Now, the family members of Lata Singh, they conspired against the family members of the boy, and they put false charges for abduction of the girl. Now, Lata Singh went with this issue into the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court in this very case passed a very landmark case saying that it is the whole and sole choice of the girl only to whomsoever she wants to marry, and also caste cannot be a restraint in this issue. ABC versus State of NCT of Delhi. It was a case of 2015, and this very case, an unwed mother who was the mother of a 10-year-old child, she went under Section 7 of the Guardian and Wards Act 1890 into the family court to get the guardianship rights. However, the Section 11 of the same act talks about the fact that a notice needs to be sent to the parent before appointing the guardian, and Section 19 of the same act talks about the fact that when the father is alive, unless he is unfit to take care of the child, no guardian can be appointed. However, the apex court in the same same case said and came forward that with the interpretation that the term parent cannot be interpreted as encompassing both the father and the mother. However, it said that the father who is not exhibiting any responsibility or any concern for the offspring, for the child, he cannot be given with the responsibility or the privilege or the concern to appoint a guardian. However, it also said that it is the right of privacy of the mother to not disclose the name of the father. Lily Thomas versus Union of India. It was a case of 2013, and in this case, the husband of Lily Thomas changed his religion just to marry a girl from another faith, that is from Islam. However, the Supreme Court held in this case that any person cannot change the religion just to marry a girl before the proper dissolution of the earlier marriage. Otherwise, he would be charged under section 494 of the IPC for bigamy, and the same happened in this case as well. Buddha Dev Karmakar versus State of West Bengal. It was a case of 2007, and in this very case, Buddha Dev brutally murdered a prostitute only because of the fact that she refused to establish physical relationship with him, and he came up with the excuse that being a prostitute, it was her duty to serve him. However, Supreme Court held in this case that irrespective of the occupation, a woman or man or any person is a human being first. Therefore, under Article 21, she is entitled to a life like freedom of life with full dignity, and therefore he was charged under section 302 of the IPC. Another case that comes to my mind when it comes to women empowerment is that Sucheta Srivastav versus Chandigarh administration. It was a case of 2009, and in this case it was held that the consent of the pregnant women is very much important for the abortion. Under Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971, under section 3, there are provisions that the advice or consultation of 2 medical practitioners is required for the abortion process, and also that when the mother is not capable of forming a judgment, or when she is mentally retarded or mentally ill, then the parents of that girl are their advice needs to be solicited for the abortion process. However, the victim in this case was suffering from mild mental retardation, and therefore her consent was of importance according to Supreme Court, because she was being a grown up. She was of 19 years of age, but her mind was only of 9 years of age. However, she was raped, and that is why she became pregnant, and also she wanted to carry that child, and also wanted to give birth to that child, and hence the Supreme Court said that the consent of the mother should be kept into consideration for deciding things like this, like abortion. Now, when we are talking about the empowerment of women, the cases like Shaira Banu versus Union of India, that was decided into 2017, and Indian Young Lawyers Association versus State of Kerala 2018, it cannot be ignored. Such cases played a very major part in improving the condition of women in our country, and to bring them on a pedestal much above than they were earlier on, because we know that when a woman stands for herself, she stands for the entire women community. Therefore, cases like this played a very significant role. Thank you very much.